Here's the Midnight Rona. Today we're doing another list challenge. I hope you're enjoying these videos because I know I am. So today we are looking at 40 things that didn't exist 40 years ago. Now, I don't know if all of you know, but I am turning 39 this year. I know I don't look a day over 18. I get it told all the time. Or you don't look over 21, or you don't look 25. If you didn't know, I have 3 children and I am a aging 39-year-old this year. My birthday is in June, and this video is going to be looking at 40 things that didn't exist 40 years ago. So obviously I'm not turning 40 this year, but I am next year. And the big 40 for me is a scary time. You know, I have children. I'm now about to have my first grandchild. A little bit apprehensive on turning 40. So we're going to look at things that didn't exist 40 years ago. And you're going to be surprised at things that didn't exist. Because nowadays, kids think that things like phones and the internet and all of this are like been around for years and years. And actually, they haven't. So we're going to look at this, and we're going to look at how many I have used, known, or tried. So we're going to go down this list. So the first one is selfies. Now, you tell me someone in this day and age that hasn't took a selfie at least once. You know, the whole duck face selfie, pouting and everything. You don't necessarily have to pout. The pouting's optional. But everybody nowadays, kid, child, adult, has taken at least one selfie on their phone, whether it was by accident or on purpose, or you're selfied out. There's even a song called Selfie. So pre-made sandwiches. No, I never had pre-made sandwiches. This says peanut butter grape jelly sandwich. I've never had a pre-made sandwich. I must admit, the only pre-made sandwich I've ever had are things like Tesco's and that. These are like pre-made sandwich like pockets. I've never had these. Never even seen these. It could be that they're an American thing. That is possible. But yeah, I've never heard of them. Okay, fruit pouches. Ooh, these didn't exist, but I did give my kid fruit pouches. They were little squeezy pouches full of like a fruit mushiness. And most kids nowadays will have these at some time in their childhood. They're a lunchbox staple. They're something you take on a picnic. You go down the park and you give it to them as a snack. It's a quick way of getting a kid to have fruit, not necessarily in fruit form, because most kids, if you give them an apple, they wouldn't have it. But you give them these cute little on-the-go pouches and they want to have them. So Febreze, I've actually never used Febreze fabric. So Febreze fabric is what you spray on your furniture. Like if you've got dogs, cats, rabbits, whatever, you spray it on your furniture and it gives it a nice smell, and it's meant to like clean and deodorize it. I wish I'd have had this many, many years ago. Back when we had a dog, back as children, because some of the times when the dog came in, he was whiffy from being in the fields. You'd give him a bath and that, but still the smell of dog would be everywhere. I've never used Febreze. I've heard of Febreze fabric, but we're going to only tick the ones that I've actually personally done. Swiffler. Or Swiffer. Now, Swiffer were these really cool idea of a mop where you had these sheets and that you put the sheets on. And I actually do own one of these now. They're not called a Swiffer, but I actually do own a mop that instead of being the floppy head knot mop that you like pretend to have a wig with, these were like wet sheet mops where you have the mop, you put a wet sheet around it, you do your cleaning, you take the wet sheet off, you throw it in the bin. You don't have to clean your mop. You don't have to do anything. They are amazing. I have a similar one, so we're going to tick it. I actually do own one of these where I put the wet cloths on, and I find it so much better than an actual knotted mop head, as I call them. Diaper genies. Now, I've never had a diaper genie. I've had 3 kids, but I have never had a diaper genie. You will be surprised at that. But my son, who's now going to have a child, first thing they wanted was a diaper genie. They've actually got a Tommy Tippy diaper thing where you put the diaper in, it has a bag, it automatically closes it, keeps the smell in there, and then you just dispose of it. It is apparently what every parent should have. I never had one. Fidget spinners. Now, who didn't have a fidget spinner with the craze? Obviously, these are a sensory toy, and they should have really been sensory toys, and they were that before mainstream got hold of them, and then everybody was playing with them, which kind of dulled down the fact that they were sensory toys for people and children with autism and learning disabilities and stuff like that, and they were used as a component to help keep kids' attention spans. Next, the Disney store. Now, I've been to many a Disney store, and unfortunately, Disney stores now are few and far between. They may have not existed 40 years ago, but a Disney store now, you are hard-pressed to find one. I had a Disney store in my local area. It closed down. Most of the Disney stuff now in the UK has filtered through stores, Primark, stuff like that, unless you want to buy Disney online. Okay, Disney reveals. I don't know much about Disney. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of Disney. Their movies are all right, but the money making, the power hungry, I'm just not in for it. So, healthy-ish fast casual restaurants. So these are things like Chipotle, kind of healthy-ish, like Subway. Subway you could class as healthy-ish. So we're going to take that. Things like Subway, they portray themselves as like fast casual, healthy food. Healthy being the optimum word in like brackets. But you get things like Chipotle, they want to claim they're healthy. And I guess they kind of are. I've never had a Chipotle. Obviously, I'm in the UK, so we have things like Subway, things like not Wendy's, but Wimpy's. They're like fast food, casual, healthy-ish. So cake smashers. Now, I've heard of cake smashers. I never did cake smashers with my child. What you do is you basically get a baby and you get them to smash up a cake. I don't understand the reasoning, the whys, the hows, the why you need to. Not really for me. Now, bento boxes, I'm not really a fan of sushi and all that stuff that usually comes in a bento box, but I will put a sandwich, some grapes and all that and make a bento box. So I'm not a sushi bento box, which is initially what they were used for. They were used for like bento sushi boxes or bento salad boxes. But I will put a sandwich in there, some crisps, some other bits. Wikipedia. Who's ever used Wikipedia? Now, Wikipedia is free. Amazingly, you can donate to Wikipedia to help with the research, the re-editing and retitling and all that. And I've used Wikipedia a few times, especially with my research for certain things over the years. Fitness trackers. Well, I do own a Fitbit. I haven't used it in about a year. Amazing that. Fitbits come and go. It's like having the Apple smartwatch or anything like that. You're told to track how many steps, how many calories, and sometimes it can get a bit much, obsessing even, to make sure you get 10,000 steps a day, to make sure you eat under this amount of calories. And I find it very, very all-consuming. Now, FaceTiming somebody. I am not a big fan of FaceTime. I know you're going to say, but you do YouTube, and I do. But there's no other person on the end of it that I can see. I get very apprehensive on FaceTime. Even talking to my friends and family, I get nervous. I don't know why. It's always been a thing with FaceTime. I've always been a little bit excuse the aeroplane, a little bit uneasy, if you can hear that. There's an aeroplane just flying outside. Next, we have streaming music. Now, I personally use Spotify. We have a family plan, which is me, my son, his girlfriend, and we all have Spotify family. So I love streaming music. I have music everywhere in my house, when I'm in the bath, when I'm on the bus. I have to have music in my life. It's literally the rhythm of my life. I think that was also a lyric from a song. Droids. Never played with droids. Unless you count Robodog, which I had when I was younger. Does Robodog count as a droid? The little Robodog with the bone that you can make him sit and stand and stuff. Netflix binging. Who hasn't binged Netflix? Whether it was Squid Games, Orange is the New Black. People have binged watch. Is it obsessive? Probably. Nowadays, if you get a program out, they split it into sections so that you don't binge watch the entire thing, which is cheeky, mind you. Okay, next on the list is beach tents. Now, we haven't had beach tents. When we went to an air show many, many years ago, we had what we call a pop-up tent. We just popped this little bad boy up, and it was windy, rainy. There was actually a tornado actually out of the water, amazingly. It wasn't a brilliant show, and honestly, it was probably the worst show we've ever been to, but it was a laugh. Crazy hair that weren't frowned upon. Now, I've had my hair purple, red, black, red and green. I did dye my hair one Christmas where I did my fringe with hair mascara. Ooh, hair mascara. Anyone remember that? Hair mascara, you used to put it in your hair as kids. Elf on the Shelf. We never did Elf on the Shelf. Even with kids nowadays, I think Elf on the Shelf has had its day. I think it's a bygone thing. And, I'm so glad we didn't have Elf on the Shelf. Now, Invisalign are where they try to do your teeth at home. You don't go to a dentist. They send you this little clear retainer kind of thing to do your teeth at home. If I was going to do something with my teeth and mess with them, I think I'd want to see a dentist rather than have a kit sent to my house. Lego that can move. Motorized Lego. You can now build Lego stuff, put an engine in it and have it shoot across the floor. Or you can build a Ferris wheel and then have the motor. Back in the day, Lego was just stationary. It didn't move. You just stuck it on your windowsill and just left it. Okay, luxury movie theaters. Now, today, this isn't my kind of theater. I do like the old school. I do like comfy chairs, mind you. But quite a few of the cinemas around me still have like bean bags at the front. And they do have fancy chairs, but we're not talking like fancy. But if you go to things like the Odeon, you can pay to have the nice fancy chairs. You can pay to go upstairs in the bar, then go to the cinema. There are some fancy cinemas out there now. Okay, safe playground equipment. Oh, the days of not having slides that were 10 foot tall, which we had. There was a slide. I'll tell you a little story. There was a slide in the park I used to go to. And this bad boy must have been, I don't know, 15 feet high. It was humongous. And you get to the top of it and, oh my God, vertigo would kick in and everything would look like it's swaying because I'm scared of heights. But boy, would I shoot down that slide with pride. But yeah, playground equipment is a lot less dangerous now. Maybe even slightly dangerous still. Some people still get hurt at playgrounds. There's nothing more deadly than a swing and your friend accidentally walking in front and you kicking him in the head. Therapy dogs for school. Now, this is a really cool thing. Having therapy dogs in school, in schools that need sensory or learning, or even in normal schools. They even bring therapy dogs into care homes now, just to give a sense of calm and tranquilness. And some people have never even had a dog as a pet, and it can be sometimes nice to introduce kids that maybe can't afford a dog to a dog. Now, gender reveal parties, boy or girl, does it matter? Yes, it does. Apparently so. I had 3 boys. I never had a gender reveal for any of mine. My son is now about to have a child, and we haven't done a gender reveal. He just told everybody. The gender reveal parties are dangerous. Some of the ways that the gender reveals have been done have been dangerous to children, animals, their houses. I've seen these gender reveal cannons literally hit men in their private parts, and you cannot unsee that. Now, Costco is a warehouse where you buy bulk stuff. I don't know if we have Costco's in the UK, but you have to have a membership to shop there. You don't necessarily have to have a business, but you do have to have a membership, and you pay an annual fee to shop there. It's not for me. Tickle Me Elmo. Who doesn't remember Tickle Me Elmo? I didn't have one, but everyone and their aunt had Tickle Me Elmo. You'd basically just tickle him and he'd go, ha 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 ha. Oh, the amount of nightmares. Google. Who doesn't use Google? The only way I'm streaming this right now is using Google to do list challenges, and then using StreamYards, which is run through Google. And Google runs YouTube. So Google is everywhere. Gummy vitamins. Now, who was giving their kids gummy vitamins all these years, thinking they were good for their kids when they were literally just sweets? I've never given my kids gummy vitamins. I don't see the point. They're going to grow up, and then if they want to fill their body with some other chemicals. McDonald's chicken nuggets. Ba, 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 ba. What are they filled of? Answers on a postcard. My son will eat these until he's blue in the face. Me, take them or leave them. Not a big fan of chicken. Not really a big fan of nuggets, but he absolutely loves them. Moving on, Nintendo 64. Oh my God, the golden days of PlayStations, Nintendos, Ataris. Ooh, gives you chills to think how far computer games have come to the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox One, or the Nintendo Switch. Prozac. Now, I've never taken Prozac. I have never taken any kind of antidepressant. I believe Prozac's an antidepressant. I've never taken any kind of drugs that help me stabilize my mental health or my well-being or anything like that. It's not for me. I wouldn't take it even if prescribed. The space shuttle. Now, the space shuttle launches over the years have become less interesting. Amazingly enough, when they were sending rockets up there in the 60s, 70s, people were fascinated by them. NASA became a big thing. Nowadays, do people care if they're sending a rocket up there? I don't think they do. Texting. Who doesn't find texting better than phoning? If I want to know something, am I going to waste my time picking up my phone and calling somebody? No. I'm going to text them first, and then if I really have to phone them, then I will do. I would rather text than call at any time. But just imagine 40 years ago when I was a child in 1984, mobile phones weren't that much of a thing. Disposable contact lenses. Oh, now I'd love to wear contact lenses if I didn't have to put them in my eyes. I have an eye phobia. I can't touch my eyes. I'm just stuck with glasses and have been since I was about 11 years old. So we're going to stick to the old lenses. Designer baby furniture. Do you have to put a mortgage down to afford a nursery for a baby? Apparently so. I got all my stuff from charity shops. And I had people that kind of frowned on the fact that I would give my baby a second-hand thing. And other people were saying, yeah, you could buy second-hand stuff. And then you could spend more money on their clothes, more money on their future. My son is probably spending half and half. We have got some expensive bits, but then we have got some bits from a charity shop. Now, Facebook. Ooh. Can you remember the days of, dare I say it, MySpace, Bebo, high school reunion? Oh, the days before Facebook was even a thing. Things like MySpace and Bebo. Oh, the good old days. Who had a MySpace account? Let me know. Do you prefer Facebook? Would you like to go back to the old days of Bebo and MySpace and things like that? Let me know. And the last one on the list is a GPS. Now, I don't have a car, but I've always heard that GPS is either hit or miss. You either love a GPS or you hate it. I do have people come in the shop where I work that still swear by using an actual road map compared to GPS, because roads are always changing. And I think we may finish, or do we have? Oh, we have one more. Oh, we have an extra one, and the extra one is easily offended people and memes. Oh, that's a hard one. People are offended by everything nowadays. Everything you say or do, you have to worry that you're saying the wrong thing, that you're offending somebody. People weren't offended many years ago. It was like water off a duck's back. Nowadays, you've got to be careful of every text, everything you say, everything you do before you offend somebody. It's like a minefield nowadays. So there we go. There are the 40 things that didn't exist 40 years ago. So I did better than 53%. I had 23 out of 41. Not bad. You ranked 95 out of 102, and you tied with the average of 23. So the average person around about my age, I am 39, would obviously now be excited that things like the internet are a thing, Facebook are a thing, selfies, maybe not so much. But if you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to comment down below and share your things that you enjoy now that didn't exist 40 years ago. Are you over 40? Let me know anything that you still think should be around or has disappeared in the last 40 years. What about stuff that doesn't exist anymore, like pages, you know, that were the first kind of mobile phones? Things like iPods have gone out of fashion. Can you believe that? Everyone wanted an iPod. You know, Discmans, Walkmans. Oh my God, I'm showing my age. Quickly, let's finish this video before I turn 40. But if you want to like, subscribe, give us a big thumbs up, comment down below, like I said, anything that you miss that doesn't exist anymore or didn't exist before you were born. Like and subscribe, big thumbs up, and I will see you very soon. Take care and thanks for watching. Bye, guys.